人的历史大概1-2万年 ，OK。那这样历史里面，过来到现在里面有很多这个佛教上留下来的，或者是天主教、基督教乃至于其他宗教留下来的一些不可思议的神秘现象。那舍利子呢是比较能够肉眼看见的，而且有很多人家供奉的舍利子，它会产生一些特殊的增生现象。我觉得这都是可以去让大家去理解一下，或了解一下，到底这个社会、这个世界是怎么回事，人应该如何把人放在这个中间。Could you tell us your name? Introduce yourself first.
Okay. My name's Renee講師. I'm the Dharma instructor at the True Buddha Vijaya Temple in Oakland, California. 追尋舍利子 with Master Lian Seng San Si is at that temple. And I took refuge about 13 years ago. At the time, I was looking for a religion, and Christianity didn't make sense to me. It didn't answer my questions. I looked at Islam, Judaism, different religions, but nothing really answered my questions. Like, why is there so much suffering? Why can a baby be born with some strange disease and cancer and all these horrible things in the world? And I started going to our temple. I lived right next door to it, and I saw it. So I started going, and Master Lian Seng was teaching classes in English, because most of True Buddha school is very Chinese. But our temple, we have teachings in English. So I just started going, and immediately it was like, it made sense. Understanding reincarnation and karma. You do good things happen to you in this life or next life. You do bad things come back to you. So it answered a lot of my questions and calmed my mind a lot.
Did any miracles, feelings around that time?
I've had my own experiences, but I usually don't really like to talk about them so much. A lot of dreams, but I find them to be very personal. And I've been kind of an idea or teaching Master Lian Seng told us about before was that you're like a rice in a rice cooker, and if you're always opening the rice cooker, all the steam lets out and the rice never cooks. So if you're always opening your mouth and blabbing all of your experiences, it kind of makes it harder for you to finish cooking in a way. So for me, occasionally I'll maybe mention something if I think it will help somebody. And I've had my own experiences, dreaming about Grandmaster a lot. A lot of people dream about Grandmaster, kind of getting questions answered, things I didn't know what to do, and kind of finding the answer and guidance in my dreams.
What kind of image in your dream, Master Lu?
He looks the same.
Same, okay.
The same. A lot of times he can speak English though, in the dream, so I can understand it better. But he looks exactly the same as Grandmaster.
Okay. Does any your friend feels curious why you join this religion, this kind of religion? Your friend?
Yeah, all my friends and family, they're not Buddhist. They kind of think it's a little different, but they've noticed I've become like more calmer, not as bossy, not as aggressive, more mentally balanced. I used to have kind of problems with depression. In my family, we have a history of like schizophrenia, paranoid schizophrenia, mental illnesses. I've had people that died overdosing on drugs because they were trying to deal with their mental illness. Just really bad stuff. And so in my later teen years, I felt really depressed. My mom was really worried. She wanted me to go to a doctor and like get medication for antidepressants, but I knew that wasn't what I needed. I needed to figure out my mind. Something is wrong in my mind. And I could feel just like, it was my karma. I didn't really know how to explain it then, but it was like heavy karma. So doing the cultivation daily, doing the daily practices really kind of helped clear my mind and clear my karma and like kind of lighten up my heart and make me a lot happier.
I saw you have a lot of book and you translated in English. What kind of motive you want to do this? Motivation?
When I took refuge, there was very few English materials. The Dharma talks weren't translated. It was very frustrating. It was very, very challenging for me as a Westerner, as an English speaker coming to True Buddha school. and I complained a lot, especially to the master at our temple, Master Linsung. And so I think hearing me complain so often, he tried to help and created the True Buddha translation teams and the U.S. Datan, Meiko Datan. So he got a whole bunch of people together. We created it and have been publishing Grandmaster's books. It's very slow because it takes a whole team of like 4 or 5 people. It takes like a year to translate it, and then we publish it. My motivation is I don't want people to feel like I did when I first came. It was so hard. I felt so isolated. So I want people to come and have information and to be able to talk to people and read books and understand and get the teachings more freely.
How many books you have done right now?
We published 13 books. We just published 2 more yesterday. So it's kind of slow, but we're a team of volunteers. There's not a lot of people volunteering, so we...
Can you recruit some people just like you and do some translation?
Yeah, they're actually been doing recruiting today to get more people to do translation and get more support.
Okay. Talking about these miracles,
relics?
Yeah. Any experience or you saw some people have this one?
I haven't had anybody in my family cremated. Well, my family's they're not cultivators, so. I was given one. Somebody told me it was a relic of Shakyamuni Buddha. I don't necessarily think it was actually Shakyamuni Buddha. It might have been a high-level cultivator that maybe cultivated with Shakyamuni Buddha and the reincarnations. But I put it on my altar in like the stupa, the mini stupa, and it grows. Every time I look at it, it grows and it like has multiplied, which is really interesting. We also have at our temple, we have some of Shima, of Sijun's mother, and it's like there's so many. Every time I look at it, it's just multiplying. Eventually, we're gonna have to like get another stupa to put them in because they've been multiplying so much.
Do you believe this encourage you a lot? This phenomenon.
The relics?
Encourage any people.
I mean, relics. Your goal is not to have relics. Your goal is to go to the Pure Land and to become a Buddha and be enlightened. It's kind of something that will happen as a result. It's not my goal. But of course, when you see it, it's inspiring. I went to, just last summer, I'm from Colorado, and the 16th Dharma King Karmapa, one of our lineage gurus, the 16th Karmapa, he came to Colorado a lot before, and they have a big stupa in Southern California, in Southern Colorado, with his relics. So I went to visit it, and it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. And we walked around it, and they had a few different stupas. I went to a show in Colorado. A lot of Tibetan Buddhism has come into Colorado, near Boulder, that area. And I went to visit. They had a show with they had the relics of Pamasambhava, Milarepa, Naropa, Tilopa, like all the famous Tibetan gurus. So just going and seeing it and feeling it, you feel the blessing from it. Very cool.
That's cannot imagine this kind of.
So it's very, very inspiring, and just you feel the blessing.
Okay.
The honor.
Can you tell me how many people like you, American, believe this kind of religion, something like that?
Believe Vajrayana or True Buddha School?
True Buddha School.
Vajrayana is very popular, actually. Where I come from in Colorado, a lot of Tibetan refugees came as refugees after they were exiled and fleeing. Like the Dalai Lama would visit a lot. There was a famous Rinpoche that moved to Boulder. He started the Naropa University. It's the first Buddhist university in the U.S. So where I'm from, Vajrayana Buddhism is very popular. But when I lived there, I wasn't Buddhist. I wasn't really that interested. It was till I moved to Oakland and came to the True Buddha Vijaya Temple and met Grandmaster. I knew Grandmaster was like my teacher. In True Buddha School, there's very few. I can maybe think of like 10 people who are not Chinese who come regularly over the past few years. Like they really stick with it. It's difficult, especially everything's in Chinese. You have to be so patient. You have to be like really open your mind and just not worry about, oh, I don't understand what they're saying, I don't understand what they're doing. The Chinese culture is very different from the Western culture. So to come in True Buddha school and stay, you have to like really open your mind and let things go.
Use your heart feeling.
Focus on the important. I'm here to learn the Dharma. I'm here to learn the teachings. If I don't understand what they're talking about, if they're going out and I'm not invited because I'm not Chinese, and I don't care. I'm focused here to learn the Dharma. So you have to remember what you're here for. If you get distracted with like the social things and the like, I want to be with the popular people, I want people to be nice to me, forget it. You're gonna quit very soon.
Right. I heard a lot of people just like that. And,
yeah, you focus
go away,
on your the main goal and your point. It's Vajrayana Buddhism, True Buddha School. I've looked at other teachers, other teachings. Grandmaster has the most teachings accessible. Like even now, there's a lot of English available. There's ways, there's people to help you. It's accessible, and the teachings really work. Like if you really are serious and you do the cultivation daily, you sit down and you do your chanting and your meditation, you will see yourself changing. It won't be like instantaneous. It's like grass. If you look at the grass every day, you don't really notice it growing. But if you look at it like over the month, over the years, you'll notice that it's changed a lot. It's growing. It will make you'll feel the change if you do the practice. Not just getting blessings and going to the ceremony. You really have to apply it to your life. If you really study and learn and then apply that to yourself and to your life, you'll really see yourself change. Be happier. I notice I'm a lot happier, a lot calmer. Learn to let things go that really aren't worth worrying about. It just like makes your mind so much more calm and peaceful and happy.
Yeah, the world different. You see. Okay. So that's all. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Your name?